Cool. All right. Well, welcome everyone to another week of perSPECtive. We've got on another guest, but before that, let's just do a few housekeeping things as usual. Letting people know that we are on Spotify. Spotify. It's a new. It's a new streaming one, yeah.
Spaghetti, and that's it. Postify.
That's right. We somehow got onto that. It's very exclusive. Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes podcast thingy. We are also in. We are real deep into our
fun-filled February.
I do it perfect on our video, and yet I can't. Okay, cool.
Your brain stops.
Yeah, so we've done 2 of those videos you can check out. We've got another video for next week. That'll be another 4 games. And as some of you saw, we started TikTok.
Boy, did we.
Did we?
There's all over TikTok for Sexy Max.
There's a whole lot of me on TikTok.
We will continue to do ridiculous things on there, so we got some ideas.
My mom saw it. Mm-hmm. My mom saw it, and she said, "Oh, honey, that's gross." And I was like, "Mom, that's my body." It said you're body shaming me. And she said, "Just take it down, honey."
We can't. It's too late.
It's
on
already
forever.
Did Meta see it?
Yeah, Meta saw it and called me, and she goes, "Is there something you want to tell me?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "About you and Max." And I'm like, "What?"
I'm glad she didn't ask anything about me because I was the one filming it, so I was all up in Max the entire time.
She didn't realize, I think she assumed I filmed it, and she goes, "I know, she's like, I know you're bi, and is that, do you need to tell me something about you and Max?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What? Mother."
Mama's supportive, though. That's all that matters.
No, Mom. That was just a ridiculous video that we did.
Yeah.
It's like,
She wants to know.
What's that?
She wanted to know.
I know. I was like, yeah, Mom. Max, the married man.
I was
not for long.
I would have called her and told her before that.
That's right. You probably would tell her.
I'm really close with Ryan's mom, so I would have called her.
I'm surprised she didn't call you first to find out or ask about it.
I'm surprised he picked up.
So those are those things. But so this week we have an interesting topic. We got Dino theme, which we'll talk about dinosaurs and of course our usual ramblings and rants and side talks about board games. But this week we have on Steph from Minimum Player Count.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's get to know you a little bit. I know we talked a little bit beforehand, but tell us about your earliest memories of board games, of a particular board game.
All I remember from playing games is me and my sister used to play a lot of games, like Game of Life and Monopoly, but we'd always play with like my dad, and he was really mean at winning. Like he would always be like, I'd be like, "Oh look, I'm getting ahead," and then he would get ahead, and he'd be like in your face, like that's what. And then you know, we're little and we'd start crying. He's like, "What are you, sore losers?" Like, you know. So like I always had this like really bad thing about losing because he was always like in our face about it, just like making us feel terrible for losing. And I'm like, dude, like now that I'm older, I'm like, you're so much older than me. What was I, 5? Like, yeah.
Wow.
So those are like some of my earliest memories of playing games, but I always did like games like Game of Life because like that's like, how can you really lose at the Game of Life, right?
Oh, you can lose.
You can lose. The Game of Life, and you're like suck it, 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah, he was brutal to us.
Are you super competitive now too? Are you like a sore winner because of your dad?
No, like I'm like really opposite of him. I'm kind of like I just want everybody to have fun. I don't like take that and like stuff like that. Like I don't want to make anybody feel bad in the game. I'm like, are you okay? Like I did that. Like I stole your card from you. Like I didn't mean to. Like it's part of the game. Like I'm always like super like caring about it. Like went the opposite way, you know. He used to make me feel terrible. Like, I don't want to make you feel bad about me destroying you right now. Like, that, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's,
yeah, not super competitive. Just kind of like, I just want everyone to have fun. Like, just have a good time and not get, like, upset about games, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely understand that.
Yeah,
Right?
this guy, yeah, so much anxiety about, like, everything. So he's just like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I know, like, oh, you really want to do it? That's okay. You like, I'll take it. I'll do some other move. And Keegan are like, no, just do the action. Like,
that's cute. I love that.
and then me, on the other hand, I'm like, oh, I don't need to take the card, and you really need it. I'm gonna take it anyways.
Yeah.
My boyfriend advantage of me because of that. Like, you know, he can read me really easily, and so he'll be like, I know you were gonna do that, so I'm gonna do that before you. And I'm like, yeah, not very nice.
So knowing that, when you are able to get like a group together, I know you said that's a little bit more rare. Which games will you try to bring to the table then? Like what games do you prefer to do?
So typically with our gaming group that we have, we literally don't ever bring any games over, because they always have like new games that they're playing and learning. So they always are just like, we're going to play this. And I'm just like, cool. Like, I love that because like, I want to know about all these different games. So like, just like, let's do that.
Yeah.
The ones I typically don't like are like social deduction. I'm not great at that, and apparently like I said, my boyfriend can just like read me like no other. So I'm just like, I think I'm being really clever, and he's like, no, you're not, you know, like I know what you are. And I'm like, great, you know, awesome. And also like kind of like PvP games. I'm not like super into those either because it's kind of like so I'm like, let's just play something like worker placement or, you know, like tiling or, you know, something else besides something that's like more like mean or take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like my preference on that.
Okay. And so for like the worker placement tile, are you more on the lighter weight or do you like heavier weight, like towards say on Mars side of things?
We've played Terraforming Mars, and I like that a lot.
Okay.
Then I have never played on Mars, and I do have some like Vita Lacerda games here that I still haven't played yet because it's like I have to review games, so I can't really play the games that I want to play until like those are done, you know? So I'm kind of like medium to like light usually when we play games here because I usually don't have a lot of time. So I'm just like, okay, let's play something that I can play quickly and like get out of the way. But I mean, Dwellings is probably like one of my newest acquisitions that I have, and I absolutely love that game to like bits. It's like the best game ever.
Oh,
Is it Dwellings of Eldervale?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't played that one yet.
We haven't. I saw it.
Oh,
I saw it at Gen Con, like when it was first coming out. I think it was Gen Con 2019. Yeah, I saw it. I know there was. Good Lord, I bought $1,000 worth of games, and just unfortunately that one did not make it into the
oh my
the
gosh.
cut. But it did look interesting. I see a lot of people posting about it.
I'll have to look into it.
What do you like about it?
Everything. Like I can't pick anything that I don't like about it so far. I mean that there's so many different factions, and the worker placement and even the battling aspect of it is really good. Like you're not into the aspect of like, you know, with regular like PvP type of things where you're like, okay, I need to put down this card for extra attack, but then I've got this defense, you know. It's none of that. You're rolling dice, and then that's kind of deciding on who's going to win or not, but then you have ways to like mitigate that luck with paying these potions that will help you. And even when you do lose people, when you do the recall workers action, you still get all your workers back, which is like, you know, a huge thing. Like, you know, playing stuff like that, usually it's like, oh, they're gone, they're gone, you know, you're gonna have something to get them back, and I know you worked hard to get them in the first place. This game doesn't do that. Also, like, sometimes with the monsters, you can get certain cards that will allow you to like, don't remember the specific action, but like control the monsters and put them to your side. So like I did that, and I was like, this is awesome. It is mine now.
They're kind of like dinosaur looking in that game, right?
Some of them are, and I really like how in there, like the miniatures are, they're colored, you know, they're not like just the plain basic. They're all different colors too, to like kind of like signify like the different factions that are in there, but all like how each faction itself has its own like advantages and like that other ones don't have. So, you know, the fact that you can play it just so many different ways is just so amazing. That I just like, I love this game. And I didn't actually believe people when they said that this is their #1 game. I was like, is it? Like, I don't think I'm going to like it. And then I played it and I was like, you're right. It's great.
Okay, well, right now we have to go. Why are you selling this too much? This is.
I just
You're spending too much money already.
I just looked it up on Board Game Geek, and the reviews on it are insane. It has like 1.4K reviews, and it has more 10s than 8s.
Oh shit!
Wow, it's super high rating.
Okay, well, shit, guys, we just did a bunch of Kickstarters and.
I mean, we did a top 10 for Board Game Spotlight as well, where I was a part of that, and I think me and James Hudson, and I think it was, I'm not actually sure who else, maybe it was Jimmy, we all voted like Dwellings of Eldorale was our top, and that out of all of ours, because we each did our own top, that was the top out of like 50 or something like that.
Dang. Okay.
So it was like the top game.
Top tier. All right.
All right, you sold us.
There you go. You're welcome.
Does that one have miniatures?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It depends. If you get the Legendary Edition, it will have the miniatures, and then it'll have the sound bases too. So you add those to the miniatures, and then so like when you set them down, it'll make like a roaring sound or like some kind of.
No.
It's just extra, you know, like it's extra.
Yeah. If you listen to me, you know I need to get everything extra. So oh no.
It's a problem.
It is a big problem.
Yeah. I like, how can you not? But then if you don't get it, that's the thing that sucks with this game, is that if you don't get all the extras, you just have a bunch of empty space in the box because there's no different sizes.
Okay.
So like,
Interesting.
oh, here's a big box that is not fully like so that's
Huh. Okay, weird. But
besides Dwellings of Eldervale, since you just like gave it so much praise, is there a game in your collection that you would never give up? If you could pick one.
It would have to be Dwellings. Like, I so much. It just does so many different things. Like, that is probably the one that I was just like, I can never give this up. Especially because it's like the legendary with the sound bases and like even the little meeples that you can put the little houses on top of them. Like, you know, I'm like,
oh jeez.
blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's good lord. So yeah, Keegan, how much is legend? How much is legendary?
I think it's like 150.
If you want to get it on Board Game Geek right now, it's 350. So.
What the fuck?
A reprint of it, so you can wait because they are going to be doing a reprint, and I do know that they also have like, I think it's like a secondary version of Dwellings, like they added more stuff, but I'm not actually sure to go ahead with that, like expansion. Like it's been made, but they haven't actually like done anything with it, so who knows if it's actually going to come out or not, but the actual like reprint of it is going to happen. So
I'm sure there's somebody
just checking
too.
my bank account real quick right here. Let's see what I can.
I'm sure there's somebody in the area selling it too, and because we're in Chicago, so like we have pretty good. There's
Buying and sell, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of people who there's a pretty big
group like
board game
community. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Good too, if you have that, like in Vegas, it's like non-existent almost.
Oh.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Yeah, like there's no none of the stores here will actually take used games either. Like back where in Washington they would do that. Like you'd buy a game, you'd play it, they'd like take it back for like some credit, and then like do an exchange kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Not here either. So I was like, that sucks.
Weird.
We don't quite have that.
I mean, we have one game store that has legit like 5,000 games on a demo wall, and you can legit play any game you want and then buy it.
Yeah, they don't have a buyback, but I think Cat and Mouse you can sell games back to them, right?
Yes, they do have that.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
Yeah,
I feel
we're
like
pretty
we say it
spoiled
every
here,
episode,
yeah.
but yeah, we're definitely spoiled in Chicago for gaming stores and just the.
Except for
board
right
game
now when
scene.
it's so fucking cold outside. There's 2 feet of snow.
That's what he's for. He is the car.
Yeah.
It's cold there.
Oh, it's been snowing
look out
like
Keegan's
crazy.
window.
Yeah, it's all snow.
Yeah.
It's been snow
Beginning of
for
the
a
week this
week.
week on Monday it was 4.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
right.
4 outside.
4.
Or
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
been
we're
snowing
we're
for
like
days.
65, 70 here.
Oh
Okay,
my
cool.
gosh.
I'm like coming outside. I'm like, it's hot. I can't
Oh.
Okay.
even.
And yeah, we walk outside and you're like, you can be out here for a few minutes and you're done.
Yeah, you
You're
take one
froze.
breath and your boogers all freeze in your nose.
Uh-huh.
I was just telling my friend yesterday, I was like, I wish it was just like at least in the 40s. Like if it was in the 40s, I'd be
40s
so
in
happy.
mid-February.
I'd be so happy.
If it was in the 20s, I'd be happy with it.
Well, I mean, like I would be like I'd be
One
outside,
second.
like going on a run or something.
Right,
It was-
well,
we were talking about.
This is our podcast within a podcast. Weather talk? Why are we?
Because we're old now.
Yeah,
Talk about the weather.
Because we need
natural.
because we need small talk on a podcast. What is going on?
I'll talk about dwelling some more. It's okay.
But talking about upgraded stuff, what is your most upgraded game that you have?
Okay.
I guess ones that wouldn't be just like a deluxe game that you got as Kickstarter or something. One that you went and got
Like from like a
outside
secondary
deluxe.
market.
Yeah.
Additional pieces.
So far, I only have 2, which is actually pretty good because I haven't really done a lot with my games. I'm actually waiting because Quacks of Quedlinburg. I have the geek bits, you know.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are just like so good for that game. I wanted to get the insert, but then I saw that they made a 3rd game for it that was, coming out or it's out in different areas. So I was like, I want to get an insert for it yet if there's going to be another one, and then they're going to have to like redo that whole thing. So I was like, let's just. But then I do have an insert for Dinosaur Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a 3D printed insert, so that one's really nice.
Nice.
Do you have like the whole like everything for Dinosaur Island, or do you just have like the base?
I have the base. I missed out on it, and I was just like, ugh.
Those have the
Have you seen the
craziest-
box? Those crates for Dinosaur? Those are so sick. I'm like, I want one. But I'm like, no, just wait. Because then they came out with Dinosaur World, and I'm like, what are you doing to me?
Keegan, you had the full. Did you have the full
I
Dinosaur?
have the
Island?
deluxe base game and expansion, yeah.
Those were the craziest metal coins ever. They were
so
like
heavy.
so
You
heavy.
could kill a human with those coins. They were so thick.
Really?
Yeah.
They were so heavy. They like just the coins were probably 2 pounds.
I think they were the
Yeah.
thickest, like heaviest metal coins I've seen.
You picked up the box and you go, oh yeah, that's just the coins.
Yeah.
That's,
If you
that's the
if you
coins
took
that
like
is-
for like the thickness, because they did 2 editions of it, like the original deluxe version and there's the extreme version. The extreme one, they came to their senses and made sensible coins, but like the deluxe one, they were as thick. If you took like 2 quarters and stuck them together, that's how thick they were, like for 1 coin.
Wow.
They were huge.
I would have to say the coolest metal coins that I have though are from my Sorcerer City because they stack.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know those ones.
Have you ever seen them?
No,
My
I don't
Sorcerer
think so.
City?
Sorcerer City by Druid City Games. James
I know the
Hudson.
game.
Yeah, so like
I
they
don't
have
know.
the metal coins and you actually can stack them. So like they
Oh,
have
that's
like,
nice.
and then like they all stack into this like beautiful like thing and they all connect. So like even the ones can stack on the 50s.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
they're
Okay.
so cool. And
That's
I'm,
really
I
cool.
just stack them and stare at them. I'm like, yeah.
I have a problem with coins that don't stack nicely, like the PAX Premier coins. Don't care for them. The
Architects.
the West Kingdom coins. They don't. They're
Yeah.
just like this. They're thin, but then have the raised like symbol. You're like, I can't. They don't. Okay.
I like the scythe coins.
The scythe coins kind of stack. I mean, you can stack them. They're nice. But we use a lot for games that don't have metal coins. We just use the
Iron clays.
iron clays.
I don't
Yeah.
have those. I always try to get the metal coins with whatever I get.
I try to too. Yeah.
It's just satisfying, you
It
know?
is. Yep. I really love the coins for Yokohama. Those coins are beautiful.
I have friends at work that aren't gamers, and before all of this happened, I would bring in a game every day to work in case someone wanted to play something over lunch. And they were like, "This game comes with metal coins," and I'm like, "No, I bought them." And they're like, "For why? Like, why did you get coins? You can't do anything." It's like non-gamers don't get the whole thing. Like, you need to touch things.
Yeah.
It's so tactile. They don't get it.
Or immersive, you know?
Yeah.
When you're like I just got my Sleeping Gods and they have like those metal coins and I'm just like, you know what? It just makes it even more like immersive into this actual game. It doesn't even matter. Like
Yep. That's another one I missed out on, and I'm mad about Sleeping Gods.
Brian, it's at Dice Dojo right now. I went to Dice Dojo yesterday, and they have it there, and the box is so damn heavy. They have all of it. You can get the whole game.
I guess I
Are
know
you
where
taking
we're
me
going
tomorrow?
I think Game Steward also has it, but you know they always mark it up.
Yeah, they do. Our
Yeah.
local. Wait, is there a deluxe version of it? Was there only one version?
I thought it was just one version because the one version has the metal coins in there, and then like the secondary on Kickstarter was the expansion and the metal coins.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't think Orion's games, they did like a deluxe version. I don't think they ever did.
I don't either.
They have the base and the expansion, like all the others, like side things at Dice Dojos. You can go all in on the game for less than 200.
For
We'll
less
take a
than
look.
200.
Which
Well, I mean, I guess I'm getting paid tomorrow, so that's fine.
Well, I have a question for you though. Back on topic. How
We
when
haven't
did
gone
you-
on topic at all.
Well, when did whatever? When
We're
did you
just out. It's
when did you
good.
get into like modern board games? Like
That's what you mean on topic, okay?
well, just I mean, not talking. I don't know. Whatever. I'm still interview questions.
How did I get into it?
Or like what? Yeah, like how long ago, or what was there like a specific game that drew you in
to
to
modern
make you
games.
obsessed enough to like start
Okay.
an Instagram and like.
Okay, so I just posted like a little short story yesterday on my Instagram about kind of like how I got into the hobby a little bit. I was like I was pretty sick and I wasn't able to like leave the house or like interact or like really anything. So I was like really getting kind of like depressed and just like really solitary. It was just me and my boyfriend that I would interact with. And so like I got a little bit better and he had some friends that were like, hey, just come over and play some board games. And I'm like, really? Like that's what you want to do? Is you want to go play like Monopoly or something? Like I hate Monopoly. You know?
I wonder why.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess, you know, since we're going over to their house and we're close, like I always like, how far am I going to be away from my house just in case I need to like come back and, you know, in case I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And so like we went there and they played Catan and I was like, this is cool. This is way different than like the Game of Life or Monopoly. Like, okay, like I like this. Let's get this. And then I went to my local game store in Washington, and they're like, oh, if you like Catan, you should try like, you know, this other game. And I don't even remember which one they specifically recommended, but at that time I was just like looking at these games and like, this is so much bigger than what I even thought it was going to be. You know, when I went to this store to get Catan, I was like, whoa, there's so many things here. And then they recommended Betrayal at House on the Hill to try that, to play with my friends, because they're like, if you like theme and like getting immersed, like you might like this. And so I was like, okay. And then they also recommended like Bunny Kingdom to get as well. And so I got those games. And then I think it was after Betrayal that I was just like, this is so cool, because like I was like reading these cards and being like, oh yeah, like the walls are like alive and breathing, and like, or you're falling through the floor or whatever into this like pit, and I'm like, this is so sick, like I want to just keep playing this. And so I went back and I was like, do you have anything else like Betrayal? And they're like, well, not like Betrayal, like we have like different games. And so like that was just like it, and I was just like, I kept going and going and getting more games, and it came into like my big 300 now almost games that I have here, that I was just like, I am hooked. And then I started my Instagram because I was just like, I like board games, I like taking pictures of board games, let me just post some, you know, let me just post some of this and see if anybody like else likes it. I was like, I'm probably not gonna get like any traction at all, like, you know, it's just board games and probably like not that big of a hobby. So I was just like, okay, cool, let me just post some stuff. And then I started getting more people interested, and I was just like, well, this is just what I'm doing like on the regular, so it's not like it was anything different. So I was just posting them there and like asking people what they liked, and then it just got like bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, now like here I am making content for board games. I'm like, I didn't even expect that this was gonna happen, but
that's awesome.
Just like snowball, right?
Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Have you gone to any of the board game conventions?
Before COVID, I went to Dice Tower West here.
Okay.
Oh, rad.
I went there. That was my first ever like convention, and I was like, I'm so excited to go to more. And then COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, that sucks. So we went there just like one day, and I got to like meet some people that I was actually interacting with on Instagram. For just like, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be there, check us out. Like I met the people from Chai, you know, because I was like talking to them, and they were like a big contributor to Dice Tower West, the last one. But I was like, that's pretty cool, but like I'm so excited to go to like the bigger ones, or even try to go to like ones that like, you know, across to like Europe or whatever. And that was it. That was my only one. And I'm very sad because I was
yeah, hopefully, I'm really hoping, yeah, I think, so right, the year before COVID was my first one also. It was, I went to
Gen Con.
Gen Con. Yeah, and I am just hoping that they can actually do it this year. Like, I'm just like, push it back a month. Like, you can make it happen. I want to go. Like, and now I even want to go more now, just like to do content there and like talk to people and like do more interviews and almost do like our podcast from there. That'd be so much fun. And
yeah, it's been really nice doing this to like to meet people like off of Instagram we've been talking to, but it's also like I want to go to cons to actually like meet people that I've like not through Zoom or whatever we're using. Like actually be able to meet people would be so cool, because I miss gaming with people so bad.
Yeah, it's very sad, but like the best thing for me is like out of COVID, I started my YouTube channel, and like, you know, this whole thing kind of got a lot bigger for me, and I was just like, that's crazy. Out of something that was so like, you know, bad of what was happening, like this great thing kind of came out of it for me, that I was just like, I love it, and I love sharing it. And honestly, like the social media makes me feel a lot closer to people while everyone is so far apart, you know, like
absolutely
about stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly why we started this, and we started this because of COVID. We're just like, all right, this is the time. Let's just do it. Let's.
What else are we gonna do?
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, and then getting to like Max has kind of said it almost like cathartic that we actually like get to meet and talk to other board gamers around the United States and the world now that we've met people over, and has been a lot of fun. Some learning about new games from other people, and just interesting ways of talking about games. Like we had a very interesting talk with Jamie Stegmeyer about just like games that make you stand up, which is like something I never really think about or just right, and so to actually like think about and try about was interesting.
So what do you mean, like games that make you stand up? Like when you're playing them, that you just like get up off from the table?
Well, that was all we were told was games that make you stand up.
Yeah, it's
so
like games
we kind
that
of
make you
all came
stand
up
up,
with different, like,
encourage
either that
you or and so it was
Or
just
like you have to stand up to play the game because like board perspective, you have to get like a good perspective of it, just like anything.
I picked one that made me so angry that I stood up and walked away from the table, because my brain was hurting so bad from the game. Like it was a very thinky Euro, and I had to just like walk away for a little bit. Like,
What game was that?
That was To Want and Sue You.
Yeah.
It hurt my head. Just
Sounds fun.
So
yeah, it was a really fun game, but I had to get up and walk away for a little bit because I was just like it was like resetting my phone or computer or something. It was like just needed a reboot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and so I guess that kind of leads into why did you want to choose Dino theme?
Because that is I'm pretty sure. I mean, I have a lot of games. That is like I think my most popular theme in my board game collection.
Really?
Interesting.
I didn't even think it would be. I would think it'd be like more like dark themes because I was like betrayal is just like right in my niche. Like I just love that like dark kind of like I don't know, airy like theme. It's just like so cool to me. So yeah, and then I was just like, oh okay, there's this dinosaur game and then there's another dinosaur game and here's another one, and I was just like cool, let's play them. And so I've got like 7 of them I think in my collection, which is a lot for me.
That is a lot of them.
Of just dinosaur games, so yeah.
Okay.
Before we jump into dinosaur games, quick question, because you said dark is your niche. Are you a horror fan?
I do. I like horror.
All right, Max, we're going to have to do a spooky cast then with you, me, Steph, and Meg. We have to do spooky cast.
I was wearing my Thing shirt earlier, and then I switched it for my role-playing shirt, but my Death Saves shirt, but...
Meg, Professor Meg wants to do a spooky theme for, what is it,
a couple weeks.
2 weeks from now,
I don't know the
whatever,
schedule.
I love her. She's so sweet.
She's
so
rad.
funny,
She was
Yeah, she's super nice.
so we'll be doing spooky theme with that, which makes me want to then do like cute and cuddly for Halloween theme for Halloween. Since we're doing spooky now, we gotta do just the opposite for Halloween.
Like the unicorn fever type of thing.
Yeah, I just saw somebody unboxing that, and I was wondering what that was. I haven't looked into that one, but
I just did a huge like unboxing thing
oh,
from
it was probably like I was probably scrolling through and just
I don't know if it was me, but like
probably.
you know.
Well, we follow you, so it probably was you.
I got the whole thing, and like I'm obsessed with these fat little chunky unicorns. I don't know why. Like my friends are like, they're gross and they're ugly. I'm like, they like someplace in my heart that I'm just like, look at how fat they are. Like, I love them. But they gave me like the big ones too. Like there's like the standard size that are like this big, and then the ones that are painted that are like this big, and they come with like their own backstory. And one of the ones that is my favorite, it's an actual horse who identifies as a unicorn. So like it has like strapped on like a unicorn head, unicorn and wings, and I'm like, I love it. You just do you. Live your best life, you know?
I feel like if you're gonna play what's that other unstable unicorn, you just gotta have those out as you're playing with it.
Unstable
Yeah,
unicorn.
you can play with the big ones because it comes with like a mat that is like way bigger that you can play with the actual ones on the table. But I like it. It's kind of like Camel Up. It's like a racing game.
Okay. Yeah, you have to put that in like Bunny. Although Bunny Kingdom looks cute, but it's really mean. Bunny Kingdom.
I like Bunny Kingdom.
I love Bunny Kingdom.
Yes.
I like it.
You don't like it.
Don't, no.
Oh.
So the reason and like the inspiration for my channel is because like one of the first games I played was Bunny Kingdom, but I only played it at the 2-player count, which is the minimum player count for that game. And every time I ask people about Bunny Kingdom, when you play it at 2 players, they're like, it's not the same. It's way better when you play with more people. Like it's not the same game. And I'm like, well, I've never played it with more than that. And at 2 players, it kind of sucks. Like, I'm like, I don't really like it. And they're like, I don't really like it either at 2 players. I'm like, but then why does it say 2 players? Like,
That's funny because Ryan and I love it at 2 players.
Like I only love it at 2 players.
It's
Like
it's so mean.
yeah, it's because it's just.
it is. And that's, I just told
Yeah,
you,
no,
I'm not a person. So like, doesn't suit well with me.
I'm not usually, but in that one, you hide what cards you're getting rid of, so they don't know you're being mean. That's why that one's acceptable for me because I just smile and go hee hee hee. But he doesn't know that I'm being mean unless I tell him.
Even though
and then at the end of the game we flip all the cards over. I'm like, I needed that. No, yeah. Bunny Kingdom's at 4 is kind of messy. It's like
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really
I love
chaotic.
it, the 2-player. I love the hate drafting of the 2-player.
The
of
hate
it. Yeah, it's just that's all that game is. It's so fun. Because you
I'm
just.
like, it, and I was just like, nope. I'm like, because then like we only play it together, and if I don't like it, we're never gonna play it. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
that's what happens. So
So
yeah,
do you
we
mostly play 2 players?
yeah,
Okay.
like 90% 2 players, and then like maybe 10% like solo plays if I'm gonna do like the minimum player count. But obviously when everything goes back to normal, it'll be pretty even, but of playing with larger player counts. But when I was thinking of for my channel, like, okay, I can do minimum player count, but then like once everything is lifted, I can do like maximum player count, has to play at the maximum player count,
Yeah.
and do like segment on that to see how
Man.
differences,
Yeah.
'cause
Some games
people
that
are-
would be torture.
yeah, like some people are like there's too much downtime, there's like you have to wait for everyone else, or there's too much going on, or you can't get anything you want because there's so many other people involved, which that's part of it too. Like you get a game
Absolutely.
because like it goes to 8, like
Yeah.
but it doesn't do as well,
I love that idea because the games, some certain games can just vary so much. Like I mean, just for instance, Bunny Kingdom. I know we like it and you don't, but I mean, like it is a very different game from 4 and 2. And certain
Yeah.
games like Scythe, like I think you can play Scythe 2 players.
It'd be a
But
very
why would
different
you?
game.
Like I would not want to play that game 2 player. I like it at like
2-player
as many
route,
players as you can get.
6-player
Yeah.
route.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. I think that's a super interesting idea because, the games just can be so varied.
And I understand why like a lot of them do that because they're trying to fit like more people to play the game.
Absolutely,
But it's like at the same time you're like, you can never win as a publisher either. You're like,
Right.
oh well, people are saying they want a solo mode, so I put it in there, but it plays so different because it wasn't intended that way. But we're trying to fit more people into it. But I'm over here. It sucks.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, I think they're just trying to. I mean, the more content or the more they can do, to draw people in. But
yeah, and it's better for them too because then they'll get more money because more people are buying it because it fits more of their group or their game style, But I just am like, I don't feel like I want to buy a game in my collection that I know I'm just going to play at 2 players if it's not good at 2 players, for my instance of my boyfriend and myself. So
Yeah.
Keegan plays a lot of 2 players with his wife, and he says he won't buy certain games that are like 3 player, right, Keegan?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Me either. I won't do that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know when. Like I play 3-player game with you guys, but I'm with my wife most of the time. But I don't want to get a game that I can always have the option to just play with her.
Yeah, because it's just like it just sits there, and then like obviously we hope that nothing else happens like COVID, but like
Yeah.
now I have like a couple games on my shelf that I can't even touch because
Absolutely.
they're just, you know, they're more player counts than I actually have, you know, so
We
it's
got
like what's
we got King's Dilemma right before COVID, and it's best at 5. And
Yeah.
trying to get 5 people together, you can't really do right now. So,
Yeah.
King's Dilemma is great, by the way.
yeah,
I
I'm
play-
dying to play it. Like,
I'm super excited for it too.
but
It's pretty bad though as well. Like it can get pretty like political and bad and like
good.
too. But my group and I just like loved it, and we just like loved screaming at each other over opinions and stuff like that. So we're just like, you know, and then we'd bring it up later, like you said that was okay, and now it's not. You know, nobody
can't
gets what
wait.
you actually want. You know, so it's great. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have
It's gonna be fun.
when we do finally get it going. I think we're gonna have a pretty good group for it.
I feel like that's one we could do record
Because
playing.
you and Bram are so mean. Like, we have 2 really mean players, and then Aiden, who's does just everything, and me and Keegan are somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I honestly thought when we first started it that I was gonna try to like record it, but then after we started playing it, I was like, I'm so happy we did not, because this is very like R-rated sometimes, especially with like, I'm like they're gonna shut me down. I'm gonna get like, you know, canceled on all my everything, and I'm like, nope.
Well, we swear a lot, and we're not canceled yet, so
Yeah.
There you go.
we're good, I guess. And
I don't think we're big enough to get canceled
Yeah,
yet,
I
right?
guess that's just fine. We're not big enough to get canceled yet, but I will not bow down and censor myself.
We got Sexy Max up already, so
We
if
do,
we don't
yes.
get canceled because of Sexy Max, we're gonna be good.
Yeah, if you go look at our reels, we posted that's what we were talking about earlier. We posted a promo. I don't know what it is.
We're calling this series
Do we have a name?
Board Game Dating Advertisement. I don't know. We got to come up with a good name for it, but it's advertising for a board game, but as if it's a weird dating site. Is
Well,
the premise.
It started out though because I asked Professor Meg if I could, because she always takes photos in the board game boxes, and I wanted to do that because I don't fit in them, so I just thought it would be funny, and then I showed up at Ryan's apartment. And they were like, "Oh no, we're doing something very different," and it devolved pretty quickly into weird. But
Anyway, Dinosaur Games.
Yes. We always do this. It's just like we talk for 40 minutes and then suddenly, 20 minutes of the end of the video, we'll talk about the topic.
Great. I was just saying, I was looking at my cup that I have over here, and I was like, oh yeah, it's like this cup. I don't know if you could.
I just see fuck. Oh, me like give a fuck.
nice, yeah.
As
like
asked me, I was like, oh yeah, that's why. I'm like, I always try to like not have this cup, but it's my favorite one.
That's like Ryan's coasters. What do your coasters say?
Don't stain the fucking table or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. But then and then underneath it says please. Just like a little.
Please, please be, yeah.
Don't fuck up my table, please.
Yeah.
So, since you're probably the one that has the most experience with Dino games, how about you start us off with, let's just say 2 of maybe your lower ranked ones, and then we can get to your ones that you like the best.
Okay. I'm like, great. Let me say lower ranked. Okay. So I guess my lower ranked would be, one of them is God's Loves Dinosaurs. Because it was an economic game. It's like a food chain game, and like for me, like I don't know, like the visual aspect of it wasn't really working when I was trying to do it and like move like certain animals over here so that they could be eaten, so that I can get more dinosaur eggs. But then if you accidentally extinct one of your full creatures, then you're like, oh, okay, well, now there's no more, and now I have to pay attention to what this one wants to eat, because then they'll go extinct and die, and you're like, so that was interesting at 2 players. Like, I feel like it would probably be better with more players too, because it changes a little bit with the aspect of the tile drafting of how it actually works and the dinosaur moves. But yeah, for me, I was just like, I don't know. I'm going to keep it and play it with more people to see. And also, like, I only played it once. So sometimes I'm like, if I don't hate the game, like right off the bat, I'll be like, okay, I see the potential for this game. I want to play it again and try to like get more of like, how this game actually plays. So I've only played that one once. And again, I want to play that with more people. So I'm kind of waiting on that to see before I did make a decision of, if I'm going to keep it or not. But a game that also my boyfriend likes that I don't really like as much right now, just because I didn't really like the way that it kind of worked. But let's see.
I absolutely agree with you. I love it, but I played it like 3 or 4. And the really interesting part of that game is the timing of everything with the tiles. And so at 2 players, that would be dull, I think. And it would, so 100%, I'd give it a shot at 3 or 4 players if you can. I think it would make it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and see, that's like where I'm always at. If a game plays differently or better with more player counts, like, how I'm going to review that and say, I think it's good at the lower player count, if you should get it, if you're mainly going to be playing at 2 players, probably, something like that. But I have to play it with more people as well to be able to say what the difference is and if it actually is better or worse, typically. So my second one that I'll say is, even though I still like this game, Dinogenics.
I haven't played that.
I haven't played it either.
I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
So Dinogenics is kind of like Dinosaur Island in the fact of like you're building your own like habitats for like dinosaurs, but different. In Dinosaur Island, you're like you're creating your dinosaurs by their DNA dyes, and Dinogenics, you're kind of like getting the dinosaurs and putting them in their habitats. And this one, you actually have like a double layered board, so you can actually put fences and stuff like that. Kind of thinking of like tiny epic dinosaurs, if you know what that. Yeah. But when I played it, I was like, it had a lot of the same characteristics of Dinosaur Island. It did a little bit of things differently, but in my opinion, I feel like Dinosaur Island did it better, but at a 2-player count again. So not sure again if it's going to be better with more people, or if I play it again, if it's going to, change. I just like how also in like, Dinosaur Island, they also have the aspect of you can do long, medium, or short games depending. So like, give you certain goals to do towards the end of it, so that you can make your game kind of more catered to what you're looking for at that time. So yeah.
Okay.
Two of the ones that I'm like not so big on.
Okay. I'll have to wait a little bit because I only have 2 that I played. So
You only have 2 dinosaur games you've played?
yeah,
Oh, you haven't played
I know
Gods Love
Keegan's.
Dinosaurs
What's
yet,
that?
have you? You haven't played Gods Love Dinosaurs yet,
No,
have
I
you?
haven't,
I'll
and
bring
I
it.
haven't played Dinosaur
haven't.
Island yet either.
Oh, you didn't play that one? Oh, man.
No. There is one that I want to play though, but Keegan, I know you're gonna have ones that are a little bit semi-dinosaur-y.
Yeah, first one's Feast for Odin. No.
I was gonna say, there's what?
I'm gonna probably be on the opposite end of you, Steph, and I really didn't like Dinosaur Island, which is why I don't own it anymore.
Okay.
Something about that game really fell flat for me. I played it 3 times, and each time I was like, okay, maybe next time I'm gonna like it. And I just never did. I just felt like that game had so much maintenance. And I know like someone put up on BGG like a vertical player board you can print out on like neoprene, so you don't have like all the boards you have to put out all the time, so everything's just vertical and you can just like go step by step down the mat, which I think would clean up like the maintenance slightly. But something about that game just didn't have like a lot of tension for me. But I do like what you said, that you can cater to like how long you have. Like, oh man, we only have an hour, let's do a short game really quick and just get it in. Like I think if more games can implement something like that, it'd be super interesting.
Yeah.
Like Ryan, we need to play the Colonists still because I got that, and the Colonists you can cater how long you want that game to last. Like that game can be an hour, that game can be 5. So
Sweet.
Jeez,
yeah,
okay.
so
It's like Food Chain Magnet does that too, kind of, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, depending on how much money people put in.
Right.
Good game.
I love that game. Brian hates it. I love it.
I love it.
Food Chain Magnet?
I love it.
It's so
Keegan
good.
loves it.
I played it once and I was very frustrated.
You did the thing I hate too when we played that game. You got so frustrated, you just started reading a rule book for a different game. It's like, just fucking leave then, dude. Like, just don't be here. But no, Splotter is one of my favorite publishers, so their games are, at least their top 6. Their big 6 games are great.
They're good. Yeah.
But I guess, like Ryan said, my dinosaur games that I do have are on the weird side that they're not really dinosaur games. But my favorite dinosaur game, because it has a big snake in it, is Feudum, which is like not a dinosaur game, but you can get a big snake and running around like a big dinosaur and do things with it in the water.
All right.
Yeah. But mainly just 'cause I'm in the same camp as Ryan. I haven't played a whole lot of Dino games yet. It's just like Dino, like I'm not a huge theme guy. Like I rather have solid mechanics and like the mechanics work really well together. And if there's a good theme on top of it, then great. But I'm not going to be like sold immediately by a theme. So yeah, I think just like Dinosaur and just like in space are like 2 themes that don't appeal to me too much as it is for themes.
Blasphemy.
Like I'm very boring. I like boring, bland Euro-looking games, and I like cute animals, and that's it.
So you have Calico?
Max is Calico.
I do.
But I have Root decked out. Like I have everything for Root, and like I love that game.
So my son, I have a 5-year-old, and when he started getting interested in dinosaurs, my wife was so disappointed because she was like, they're just not cute. Like she was, and I was like, I don't know, there's some cute dinos. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Ducky from Land Before Time. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, look at the dinos on the cover of Tiny Epic Dinosaurs.
I have have you seen a Dinosaur Tea Party? That's a game I just heard about,
Yeah,
and the art in it
it's
looks
pretty new.
Yeah, I just saw it at the store,
honestly,
and I
it's-
think So Very Wrong About Games had talked about it. I think it's a deduction game, so I don't know if you'd like it. You probably wouldn't. But the art in it is really funny. It's a bunch of dinosaurs drinking
Yeah.
tea and stuff.
Yeah, they have like top hats on, and it's
It's cute.
Really? The T one that I just got that a lot of people don't know of is Alice in a Mad Tea Party. That one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
no.
There's an actual like little set side of the game, and it
okay.
is a production game. And then you create a little table and chairs with like cardboard that you have to take apart every time. But it really like they did it well enough that it doesn't like destroy them every time. But then you have to put like a teacup and like a plate, and that scores you points. And you're trying to put them in front of your character, but you have to grab your character and put it at the table. And so other people are trying to guess what you are.
Oh.
But it's really cute social deduction game that I actually like. So
Okay.
I was just like, this is really great. And my little sister was like, oh my God, there's a tea set. I was like,
I'll
Yes,
look that
there
one
is.
up because I like social deduction.
Alice, what is it?
Alice in a Mad Tea Party?
Alice in a Mad Tea Party. Okay.
I was
Interesting.
gonna put because I was trying to like think through games, and I didn't even think of Gods Love Dinosaurs at first, but I was gonna put Rising Sun on my list because there's Godzilla in it, but I was like, I don't think that counts. I'm not gonna put it.
Which one?
Rising Sun. It has Godzilla. Or Godzilla. I don't think it's Godzilla, but it's Godzilla.
The most
Right.
recent one I just got is Apex.
Yep.
Anyone heard of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a deck builder. And I'm gonna actually play that at 1 player because 2 player wasn't that great, but I hear a lot of people like it more at a solo game. So I'm gonna see how
Okay.
that works.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I really like deck builders. I like Clank, but I want like a longer deck builder where you really are building up a deck rather than like a game like we say Lost Ruins of Arnak. It's not really a deck builder, but yeah, I always feel like I want more. And I know the last I don't remember.
Have you played Dune Imperium?
I have not played Dune Imperium. We played Dune, not Dune Imperium.
James Hudson, we did on our BGG or our spotlight. He was like, I don't really like Arnak. I think Dune Imperium does everything a lot better.
Okay.
So I'm like, I have to play both of them now to see. But he's like, Dune Imperium way more better, has way more complicated like mechanics and does things he says better. So I'm like, okay, well, we will try that.
It's definitely on my.
Okay.
It's been on my radar because I like the books. I'm a pretty big. Well, I'm not pretty. I'm a decent Dune fan. So, yeah. It just it was one of those that seemed better at like 3 to 5 players. I think it plays up to 5, at least 3 or 4 players. And which has just been harder to do for us recently. We've been playing a lot of Euro games at like 3 players because we can consistently get us 3. So that was one I was like, I really want to get, but I can wait. Like I didn't have to get right away, but now you're making me want it.
That's what I do.
These discussions are always so bad for my wallet.
I know. Everything. Yeah.
I would say like I thought of like 3 Dino games, and my bottom one was Dinosaur Island. I bought it and I played it right when it came out. I had wished I had bought the fancy version with like the different Dino meeples and stuff, because I think that would have helped just with like sort of getting into the theme and stuff. I liked it. I ended up selling it just because I think our group didn't like it as much, and because it was still pretty hot, so I could just get my money back for it. It wasn't like I liked the different mechanics in it, but nothing in it like really just blew me away. But I liked the theme, and I thought it was really fun. I just the other games on my list I like better, but it's enough of a game that like I bought it and played it and enjoyed it. But yeah, so I think it's a good game. It's just not like it didn't. Yeah, not my favorite Dino game.
Yeah.
I have 2 other ones that I really like. One's already been named though.
Well, I know there's one that I've wanted to play for a while. Just I haven't bought it because I know like it would take forever to get to the table. Evolution.
Oh, I know that one.
I hear good things about it. I know Bram really wants to play it.
Bram has it, yeah.
He has it. It's just I've never gotten around to playing it just because there's so many other games to be playing. And
Have you played that one?
Is it worth getting Evolution anymore though, since Oceans? Because it's the same. Yeah, it's the same system for the most part, and the same publisher, and everyone says Oceans is better.
I have Oceans and I haven't played it yet.
Have you played?
Spoiler: I wasn't a fan.
Have you played Evolution?
I haven't either, but I'm kind of wondering if I even should, because like there's a lot of good and bad about like all of them, you know, and I've heard some strong bad ones and a pretty strong like good ones. So it's kind of like I don't really know how I feel about it. At it. But I was like, I have Ocean, so if I play that and I like it, then maybe I will get other ones. But if I don't, probably not. My friends also got it; they didn't like it either. So I was like, I'm not like dying to play it, so it's kind of just there right now.
Evolution was fun. I mean, like I didn't buy it, so that always takes, I think, a little bit of a sting out of your like it, or at least. I don't know. I always feel like when I buy a game, I have to really like it to like, or at least everyone at the table has to like it. Because there's plenty of games I've bought that I've liked, but everyone else at the table is kind of like, eh. And then I was like, well, it's never going to hit the table, so I may as well sell it. Like that happens fairly often for me. So, but I thought Evolution was fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I still want to play it. I haven't played Oceans either, so it's just. Yeah.
Do you have so? Should we do your mid
my
game?
mid game? My mid game. I have 2, so there's no like mid games. I guess. Well, okay. Okay. Well, which one do I like more? So I'll say Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. I kickstarted that one. I've only played it once. It was an interesting little one. I really love all the little dino meeples. They are fantastic. It is so much fun to play with them. I mean, I'd probably rank it higher in the like Tiny Epic universe. Yeah, and it has a very like like Agricola style player board where you're trying to get the dinosaurs out to the fields, right, and then fence them in, and you can't have certain ones with other ones. You got to feed them so that they don't, the predators don't go and eat a herbivore, and an herbivore doesn't run away. So yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
over COVID, I have a real quick side rant. My son was very obsessed with dinosaurs. He has since moved on, which is unfortunate because I bought him a lot of dinosaur toys, and he's obsessed with Pokemon now. But we were stuck in quarantine for a month, like stuck in one like little studio apartment for a month, me, my wife, and my son. And so I bought him the Jurassic Park computer game because I thought like, oh, you'll build a park and there'll be dinosaurs. This will be great. It's not a great game. And right in the beginning, it put like a herbivore with a not herbivore, carnivore, and it got eaten. And my son just started crying, like instantly started. He ate him, and then the body stays there, and you have to like clean the body up. And luckily, it was about an hour into the game, and I just returned it on Steam. I was like, made my son cry.
Made my son cry.
So yeah. Anyway, I just thought of that.
That's
Like, I mean, it happens, but I think that's so funny.
He's very sensitive about animals. I'm pretty sure he loves animals more than humans, or at least his stuffed animals too. But I was being a bad parent, not thinking it through, and I was like, I wonder what will happen, and then we found out what happens when you do that.
Well, tell us another Dino game.
Another Dino game, Gods Love Dinosaurs is it like I really like it. I know we've already talked about it, but yeah, if you can play it with like 3 or 4 people, it definitely changes it up, and it is deceptive. I feel like I say that a lot, but like it comes off really cute, like a god, like this theme. They have all these little dinosaur or different animal meeples. There's like 6 or 7 different meeples in that game, and it's really cute, and the art's fun. But it is a really tight balance of keeping your predators and your prey so that your dinosaur can then eat predators to get you points, and it is it is a very tricky little scale you have to but it's fun. I liked it. So
has anyone played Fossilis?
No.
Fossilis. I don't even know that one. Let's see.
I really wanted to play, what is it Draw-a-saurus or something like that?
Draftosaurus?
No, not Draftosaurus. It's another one. There's like a roll and write dinosaur game where you have like it is Draftosaurus. Yeah, that one looked fun.
Follosaurus looks really Fossilis looks really cool. Like the pieces look great.
Yeah, it is really cool. It's by Kids like the publisher. So when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a kids game. Like, I don't want to get this because it's not gonna be too strategy. But it was pretty fun. On our top list for Board Game Spotlight, a lot of them were like, yes, I love this game. You are trying to like dig through these like tiles to get these dinosaur bones, and then you get cards that you're trying to fulfill those dinosaur bones. So it'll say, you need like a head or a rib or something like that. Yeah. And then you point by, completing that card. But another thing you can do is you don't have to complete the card. You can have like one specific, bone and say like you complete that card for endgame scoring. But it was pretty cool and deceptive, especially because, like I said, it's a kids table game, and I was like, okay. And it looked like it was going to be that strategic, but it was pretty fun. Even with 2 players, you're able to like push and move each other too, so like you can get them farther away from something that you're like, okay, they're gonna be able to like get that bone on their next turn, so I'm gonna try to push them away so that they have to work even harder to get that, so that they can gain the points and things like that. But really cool way to set it up too.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks really cool.
Yeah, they really did a great job on the components. Like, they are nice.
Yeah,
they really do. Like,
they do look really nice.
The bones look like that, like Operation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I thought it was going to be, is like an Operation type of thing. But I still have to play that one some more to see if like how the strategy is, but with that Fossilis, it came with like 10 different like small expansions too.
Oh wow.
With the
Okay.
Kickstarter. Like it all fits inside there, but I haven't played with any of the expansions yet, so I want to play some of those to see what it's, you know, what's going to do differently. But yeah, it was crazy that they fit all those little expansions inside this game that will change it up like a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out for my kid because that looks fun. Get him back into dinosaurs. Pokemon, I know Pokemon's gonna bankrupt me, so.
Oh god, yeah. Because wait a second, goddamn, another small side rant. They're reprinting the original Pokemon cards.
Oh no.
They're not reprinting the original. They're just reprinting more because you can't find any in stock anywhere.
Huh.
I don't think it's the original. It's just like the newer sets because all those are out of stock now too.
Oh. Okay.
But maybe they are because it's the 25th anniversary this year, so maybe that's their big surprise thing. They're actually going to reprint the old ones too. Who knows?
I bet so. Don't know.
There you go, Max. Buy some for your kid.
I just bought him a Pokemon handbook so that he can figure out himself what evolves into what, because I only know the original 150, and he'll be like, what does Onyx evolve? What does this one evolve into? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, so Aiden was like, get him this, and it's like the new upgraded deluxe Pokemon handbook. It was like $12, and I think it's like 400 something pages.
Good lord.
And that should be coming in Saturday, I think. So I was like, this is bedtime reading now. We'll read Pokemon. Because otherwise he just asks me for an hour what evolves into, and then argues with me. I'm like, I don't think Raichu evolves. I don't know, but we'll look it up. Look it up. I was like, no, it's bedtime. We're not looking at the phone. Like,
is he gonna be, you think, like a Yu-Gi-Oh fan in the future, or like get into more of the?
I have no idea. Probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Those are so steep of like hobbies to be into. Like, you know, I see my board game store, like, we're out of Pokemon because like everyone's always like, I want Pokemon, I want Pokemon. They're like, we don't have any. Right.
Yeah.
Wait until like next week, and then like 50 people are like, you have Pokemon? They're like, first come, first serve. Like, oh, they're hot.
I saw a meme a long time ago. Is if you want your kids to not do drugs, get them into Pokemon. They won't have any money to do drugs.
They won't have any money. Yeah.
Well, I think it was actually Magic the Gathering, but it works the same with Pokemon. There's both.
Keegan and I like pulled out the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that we had the other day, and we're looking at some of them.
Yep.
I didn't realize apparently some of mine could be sold for quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah, I have like some really old, like original, like first edition ones.
Where are they?
Go away.
I used to have Pokemon cards. Like I used to have like a collection, but I didn't do anything with them. I just like thought they were cute. You know, I was just like, yeah, I have my Pikachu. Like I was actually collecting them, you know? And so I don't even know what happened to that. I had like a whole, you know, thing, but I think we moved or something, and then, you know, probably somebody found them and sold it, you know?
I'm pretty sure my brother sold ours. Well, I mean, I probably would have thrown them away or given them to some kid. So my brother always holds onto that stuff, and then we'll sell it, and then be like, here's your cut or something, and I'll be like, yours, you keep it. Like, you did all the work.
All right.
What are we on, number 2?
Number 2. Who's got more? Well, let's just go. Who's got more dinosaur games to talk about?
I got another wild one.
Oh.
Okay.
So, this works technically.
I'm trying to think of what
Wingspan. Because birds are reptiles. Because birds are, you can look it up. Birds are technically reptiles because they're associated most similar to crocodiles and alligators, because birds share the same evolution history as like reptiles do, and most dinosaurs probably had feathers. So if we're going on the really bizarre route, my favorite dinosaur game is Wingspan.
Good lord.
So Ryan, you can Google that later and confirm the fact that birds are dinosaurs. And then
I'm aware birds are
have you not
dinosaurs.
played any dinosaur games, Keegan?
Not really, but like the one that like I really want to play, I think the most, I think this would be the thing I can actually say. I want to try Raptor because it sounds like a pretty interesting 2-player game. And then I really, really, really want to play Dominant Species, which is another one that's like more broken up by like mammal, insect, reptile, but the cover has dinosaurs on it, and you're technically playing up until the Ice Age. And it like wipes out the species. So that one seems great. It has like a lot of stuff going for it that I really like in games in general, like area control, and then it's worker placement, but it's programmed worker placement because you don't get to take your action when you put your worker down. You wait for everyone to put all their workers down, and you activate everything from top to bottom then. And I know that game can also, I don't own it because it's not going to hit the table often because it also takes up to like 4 hours to play.
It's also really mean, I've heard.
It's very mean, and the box is very big, and I don't have the shelf space for it. But it's one I would.
It's also
one I would
super
love to
ugly.
try out.
I believe it's also super ugly, if I remember. It's like
It's kind of ugly. There's a new game coming out this year that's underwater version of Dominant Species. I think it's called Dominant Marine or Marine Species, something like that. The original designer of Dominant Species passed away last year from cancer, so his wife is finishing the project for him and make sure it gets published, which is really, really nice. So that's another reason I want to get the game, just to like be supportive for their family. But it looks really good.
Yeah, both Raptor and Dominant Species were on like my list when I was looking up Dinosaur Games of like, I still got to play those. I really wanted to.
Yeah, they look really great.
I'm pretty sure Ryan's gonna say the same one I'm saying for my third one.
The Unmatched one?
Yep.
The Jurassic Park Unmatched.
Have you played that?
I haven't played any Unmatched.
Well, you don't like player versus player. You were saying,
Yeah,
right?
that might be that is what it's a player versus player game.
It's pretty fun though.
Played, Skull Hollow? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that a lot, but is that different, or would you say it's more similar to like that, like Unmatched?
They're sort of similar, but it's not Skull Hollow is 1v all, right? Like you can play multiple.
Sorry. It's 1v1, so one person is like the monster, and the other person is the woodland creatures, and you're trying to like fight each other.
That's right. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was multiple.
It is
players.
similar.
Well, the card play. There's not. Yeah, I guess they're similar in a way. Like in a way, they're similar. I think Skull Hollow is just a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
a little bit lighter.
Quite a bit pared down.
I think that Unmatched has a bit more depth. Maybe just because it has.
There's a lot more movement that you have to take into account, and
the
positioning.
the cards are pretty. There's a lot of cards in each. Yeah. I would compare Unmatched like similar style, but it just maybe a little heavier. But it's not a heavy game. It's very fast, quick game. Like, and the first time I got it, we played it over and over and over. But the Jurassic Park one comes with 3 really cool raptor models, and they're a lot of fun. It's raptors versus like Muldoon, I think, from the movie.
Yeah.
The weirdest like pairings like I've ever seen.
I know,
like,
it's bizarre. Little Red Riding Hood and Beowulf.
yeah. Who those together? But I want to try Cobble and Fog because everyone says that one's amazing.
That one's
and I'm
fun.
like,
That one's fun.
The only one that I heard that's kind of not great is the Buffy one. I heard a couple of the characters just aren't that good, but there's one that's really good, and then another one that's pretty okay, and then like 2 that just aren't as just didn't change up the game a lot. Like Cobble and Fog introduced a lot. The Raptors, the Jurassic Park introduced like traps and like playing 3 characters, like so each one has kind of changed up the system a little bit, whereas I don't think Buffy did that much different, but I haven't played it. That's just been what I've heard, but I've played the Raptors and they are a lot of fun. There's just all the different pairings you can do in that game of like Raptors versus Bigfoot, Raptors versus Alice in Wonderland, Raptors versus King Arthur. It's just very it's a very bizarre game, but it's a lot of fun.
Weighted? Like all of them?
Have I what?
Are they? Do you think they're all pretty evenly weighted? Like in terms of like, you know?
I mean, yes, but some will be able to pretty much kind of destroy one. Like one could definitely be stronger against certain ones, while others strong against others. I guess it just depends on what the matchup is.
Got it.
They're fairly. I guess when it first came out, people were saying King Arthur was a little bit underpowered, and maybe it was Medusa was a little OP. But yeah, it depends on the lineup because there are certain characters that are melee characters and there are certain characters that are ranged. So you can have a bad card draw and you can have but it plays so quick and it's just so fun and silly that it doesn't matter. You just want to try all the different combos and you can play it if you're playing with just one person against each other, you can both play two characters, or you can play a 1v1. We've played it with teams too, like 2v2, and but I think once you get the core basics of the game, like all the different boxes, there's not one that's like really that much trickier than the other, and they're all fairly balanced. I think it's a pretty good system, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's at least worth checking out that one pack, because you can just buy that Jurassic Park one.
Yeah.
And there's a game board in it, so you can just play with those two characters if you just want to try that out even. But so that's
More games to buy.
That's my number one.
That's my number one.
My number one Dino game that I really, I mean, I really like Gods Love Dinosaurs too, but I just feel like how could you not love a game where you can fight Little Red Riding Hood against 3 Velociraptors? Like,
Velociraptors are just like OP in general, so I was just like, I feel like she wouldn't make it.
I guess she has a pretty good deck. I haven't played with her yet, but the Velociraptors they're wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
They always terrified me when I was a kid watching Jurassic Park. The Velociraptors always scared me.
You know, like they hunt in like their groups or whatever, just around you.
And that's actually like the very play style of them in the game is you want to try to like have them hunt in a pack and not split them up. Yeah. Like you just get more bonus. Like it's just you get stronger if you're like pack tactics. So. All right.
Love.
Give us your number one.
My number one. I would still have to say it's Dinosaur Island right now. I still love that.
I thought you were going to say Eldervale.
Yeah, no, seriously. I was like, technically, you have some dinosaurs, right?
That's how I felt about Rising Sun.
Eldervale right now is just like my top one to like beat for any game. Like, you know, like you have to come close to it, but that game is just like my number one of like all my collection so far. You know, I just love that game so much. It's so good. Yeah, I would just say Dinosaur Island. I mean, I have a lot of, like I said, dinosaur games that I want to replay so I can see if they are, you know, still hold up or if they'll do better with more people or not. But yeah, I still like the fact that you can just make it a small, medium, or like really lengthy game, you know, for that. So to me, I haven't seen that in any other games. So that's why I was just like, that's awesome that I can just make this a quick thing. Tiny Epic Dinosaurs is pretty cool too, though, because of the way like the mechanics are with the breeding of the animals, and you're trying to like control and make sure like you're seeing who's out there and what like your objectives are with the little cards and stuff like that, and the DNA of like the random purple dinosaurs that you have now. Those are pretty cool. I love that there's so many little dinosaur meeples in that game.
There's so
like,
many.
It's so awesome, you know?
They have, there's like 10,
you have it right there?
There's like 10 or so of the purple ones, and all of them are different.
Yeah.
Plus then
like, I have there, if you can see.
Oh, you have a full, okay.
That looks great.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Do they even have stickers?
It's like screen printed on here. Do you see that?
Oh, it's like that. Oh, nice.
Really
That was super nice.
And it's wood in here, and that's like, and it's already organized, and like all the little player pieces are there, so you know you can put them out. But yeah, it's just like so cool. I love this thing.
Who did that?
Everything perfectly.
Who made that organizer?
Oh, I will have to get back to that.
Okay.
Why don't you have it?
Okay.
No, I have, I got it from them because I saw it from somebody else and was like, I have to have it. Because it just organizes it. And I'm just like, I love it when the game is like so nicely organized, you know, it makes it easier to set up and play and everything, you know? I don't like games that are very lengthy when they, you know, you have so many different things, which is another reason why, as I digress, another reason why Apex was terrible, because after you're done with it, you have to re-separate all the cards, and it's not easy. It's like almost like a mini game in the game where you're like going through all these cards, and it's like labeled on the side. You have like your specific like piles that you'll put in everything. Like, so let's say you have to discard this card, but it's not just to your pile, it's to like this main pile that everyone can grab from. So like sometimes they'll take those cards and put it in their hand. So you have to literally go through all these cards and even this like stack of cards and like put them all out of who goes where. And it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah,
man.
my copy of Feast for Odin, that's a game I'll never get rid of, but it didn't get played as much. And then for Christmas, Ryan got me the Organizer, and I was like, it's so easy to get out and play this game now. Let's play it every day.
All of them are done printing the
yes.
boats.
He printed me little boats for.
Okay.
I'll show him.
You got your okay.
That's fine. It'll work.
So what's your guys' newest game? Oh, how cool.
Yeah. So I printed out like 30 of the boats.
Got a little Viking on there.
Super cool.
Sick.
Now I just gotta
That
get
reminds
painting.
another game I can't think of where you're like Viking and you have different characters. I can't think of the name and it's on my shelf over there, but
Midgard? Champions of Midgard?
no, it's
Raiders of the North Sea.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good one.
You
Yeah.
have that
Do you
one
have, do you
too.
have the big box? Do you have everything for it in the big box? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I did that too.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
didn't even play it, but everyone's like, you have to get it. And I was just like, okay, got it. Like, you know, and then so like my gaming store got everything. So I had like 5 boxes or whatever. And I put them all inside one and I was just like, look how pretty. It's all But I don't want to get rid of the boxes because I like the covers on some of them. Like they
Yeah.
look so
Yep.
yeah. I got a problem. I know.
We understand it.
I hope they do a big box for the West Kingdom ones.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There's so many of Shem's games that I'm just like,
Yeah.
what's the difference? Like, I'm like, do I want to play this? Is it the same thing? Like, there's so much.
I am super
you know?
excited for all the new expansions for the West Kingdom ones. There's one. Yeah.
I liked somebody said, like, you might have a shelf of shame, I have a shelf of Shem. And it was just all the Shem Phillips games.
Yeah.
Yeah, my shelf of shame is big.
Yourself.
I have a big.
Yeah, we talked about. I think
Mine was not that
I
bad.
said mine was like 45 or something.
I think I have.
Mine is like 60 or 70.
Holy
Oh
cow.
damn!
I think I have
Okay.
2 or 3.
Wait, Stephanie, the real question is, do you take your games out of shrink, or are they still sitting on your shelf in shrink?
I started doing unboxing on my Instagram, so I've been taking them out of shrink just for that. I'm like, content.
If you weren't doing it,
They've been sitting on my shelf, still in shrink. Why? Because it's my reward for actually getting to that game of unwrapping it and like seeing all the contents of it. Because otherwise, I'm just like, oh, I opened that, it's there, but like, it's better
yeah,
if I'm like,
suck it, guys.
That's what Ryan does.
it's there. But now that I'm doing this thing, it's not the same. You know, I'm unboxing them. I just got Sleeping Gods and then posted that. You know,
Yep.
and I'm like, it's open. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Mine
I
are
don't know that.
mine are sitting on my shelf in shrink still. The games I have
They-
not played. Yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, it's just like Keegan and I will buy a game. Even Max too will buy a game, and immediately when they get in the car, they're opening the game already. I'm like, what are you doing?
Do that if you like lose something in the car too.
I'm
Does that
careful.
stress you out, or is that just? I'm like, I want everything to be like perfect, and like if something's missing, I need to know if it was like, you know.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have
From the-
to. I have to open it up within. It drives me crazy. I have to open it up that day and organize it and like read the rule book and make sure it's all there and like count tokens. No. I can't let a game sit on my shelf in plastic for a year. Are you kidding?
Yep.
It's okay, because then like, if later like you see other things that I'm like, okay, I don't like that game anyways, I can be like, it's new and shrink. Somebody want
Yeah.
it?
Exactly. Yeah, guys.
We had this
See, I'm not the
conversation
only
last
one.
week.
Not the only one.
You two are weirdos. No.
All right.
Yeah. some big games too sitting on my top of my calyx right now that I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know when I'm going to get to those. I have like my new Tainted Grails and my Ether Field sitting up
Jeez.
there.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yep.
You got a lot of work to do.
A lot. A lot of. And like I don't even want to like touch them sometimes. And then there's a new game that comes out. I'm like I need to like have all the little things for it. Because like what if I love it like dwellings?
Yeah.
I don't have problem.
That's how they get us.
Yes, I know. Well, we've been talking now for an hour and 20. We're gonna wrap up this week's episode. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy being here.
Yeah, and of course, I have forgotten to say this, but where can people find you if they don't already know where?
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. Where can you find me? YouTube and Instagram are my two biggest ones that I'm constantly on. And then Patreon too, I'm on there. I have a couple of supporters. So
nice. Yeah. Okay. And that's awesome. Minimum player count.
Yes.
And is there anything you got in the works that's coming up you want people to know about to stay tuned for?
I have a video coming out in like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
For today. But my video out every Thursday around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
So tonight it is Maki. I can't say it right. Maki. It's a solo game that's currently on Kickstarter. They're doing the second edition of it. So
okay, cool.
I played the first version and tell you how to play, but that's going to be on YouTube soon.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, check that out. Well, and we've got our Feld videos coming out each week. We got 2 more, and then we'll do a final like overview and ranking of them. If you talk to or know Board Game Ramblings, at them, tell them we want to do a collaboration video. Anyone listening? Because they're doing a big Feld thing too. So we're curious to compare our notes with them. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Until next week, bye.